So in the year of 2020, I really wanted to cut my expenses down, and I wanted to do this, but I didn't necessarily want to get rid of everything that I was paying for. I wanted to keep the things that I was paying for, because at the end of the day, I'm paying for them for a reason, but I wanted to cut the expenses of those things. So I figured if I could cut down everything that I was paying for every single month, or all these necessities that I needed every single month, that amount would add up to be quite a bit, and I would be able to save a lot of money each year, just based on those little tiny cuts that I just put towards on all of these expenses that I had. So in this video, I kind of wanted to break down exactly what I did and the steps that I took to actually save money each and every single month, without having to get rid of all the things that I wanted to keep. Because I know a lot of people talk about, you know, saving money, you just stop buying Starbucks, or you stop buying this, or you just save a lot of money and just don't go out, don't do anything. But I didn't really want to take it that route, although I do some of those things. I did cut out some things. I also wanted to just cut out on the excessive spending that I was spending, or the more expensive things that I was buying. So when I actually sat down and looked at my finances, I noticed that my phone bill was pretty high. I was paying about $95 for my phone carrier for the service on my phone, and that was through T-Mobile. So with a little bit of research, I sat down for probably 10 minutes just to see if I can save any money, and I was actually able to find this YouTuber that talked about Mint Mobile. So I did my research on Mint Mobile, I checked out their website, I looked up reviews for them, and I kind of just did my research on them, and I noticed that they were a lot cheaper than actually all the other carriers, or all the big carriers like T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, those ones like that. And I figured, since nobody really knew about them, that they weren't very good, or since they weren't that big, that they probably wouldn't be very good and they wouldn't have very good service. But after doing all my little bit of research, I spent about 15 minutes just researching it. I came to the conclusion really that they were pretty good, and there was a lot of people that actually did use them. A lot of the YouTubers use them, a lot of people that I was researching actually use them, and it seems like they were a good company to use. So I figured I'd just make the switch over and just try it out. So I did my research on the plans, and the plan that I got was the unlimited talk and text, as well as the unlimited data for $30 a month. Now with Mint Mobile, what you have to do is actually pay upfront and pay for the entire year all in one lump sum. So I believe it was about $360 for the whole entire year, and you have to pay that up front, but at that point you have your phone service for the whole entire year. So what I did was I went ahead and hooked up with them. They sent me over a SIM card. All you had to do is put the SIM card in your phone, and it pretty much switches over your number and switches over everything. And you know, like I said, I didn't use them before, so I didn't know how their coverage was and how everything was, but with a little bit of research, I figured out that they were pretty good. They were pretty much the same as T-Mobile. So I went from spending $1,100 more or less every single year on my phone bill to spending $360 a year for my phone bill with pretty much the same service. It's just not with the big company and the big cell phone company like T-Mobile. So I don't really care to say that I'm using Mint. Some people think it's similar to like a prepaid plan, but it doesn't really matter. I don't see why anybody would care, or if it even matters at all. But I'm saving quite a bit of money every single month and every single year on just my phone service. So I think a lot of people are overpaying for their phone service. Just do a little bit of research, and you know, YouTube, you can find a lot of things. So check out you know, other carriers. There's a lot of carriers out there like Mint Mobile. I just found that Mint Mobile is kind of a more known one, and I know a lot of the people that use it. So they didn't have a problem with it. I've been using it for almost a year now, and I've had no issue with them at all. Some areas are kind of blotchy, but just like any other phone service, you know, there's gonna be areas in your town that you won't get very good service from. So before you do the switch, I'd go ahead and check out their website, look at the coverage on there, and see if they have good coverage in your area, because everywhere is different. But I've had no complaints with them, and it's saved me so much money throughout the year that I'm probably going to continue just keeping on using them and continue to save the money. So this next one I've been doing for a few years now, and I've seen a big, you know, drastic change in the money that I'm spending on this, and that's groceries. We obviously need food to live, right? We have to eat, and if you can find a place or a grocery store in your area that sells the same groceries pretty much, or food in general, for a lot cheaper than, you know, the big name brand grocery stores, then I would definitely recommend, going to those and giving them a try. See even if you can actually, get the same stuff for a lot cheaper. I found a place by where I live called Aldi. I know there's a lot of places in the United States that have an Aldi, but they are like pretty much, they're almost like half the price of regular like retail or bigger grocery stores like Vaughn's and Albertsons and stuff like that. And I've really noticed like a huge difference in my bill and my grocery bill. We spend anywhere from like $60 to like $120 a week on groceries at Aldi, and that's for 2 people. So we can be fed and have groceries all the time for fairly cheap, as opposed to, going to Vaughn's or going to one of these more well-known grocery stores where you can easily spend $200, $300 on groceries, where you get the same amount of things. Basically it kind of depends on what you buy. You could spend a lot of money at a grocery store and you could spend very little and still have the same amount of food. It's just kind of the ways that you're going to take it and how you're going to make food. But basically, finding a grocery store that sells everything that you need for a lot lower of a price is going to save you so much money throughout the year, because that's something that you need. That's something you have to buy, you have to eat. So you might as well try to penny pinch that as well, and try to save as much money as you can on food. Because I don't know about you, but I love buying food, but then I hate buying food because it's kind of like I'm like eating my money. So it kind of almost feels like a waste. I'm not like using that money for something like really tangible, I guess. I don't know. Buying food like kind of sucks and kind of is good at the same time. But if you can save money on your groceries, definitely would recommend to go try to find a grocery store that sells groceries for a lot cheaper than what you are spending right now. And another way to save money to kind of branch off on groceries is water. Another thing that you need is water, and people spend so much money on water bottles and just different forms of getting water, like those big 5-gallon jugs with the I don't know what they're called, but you put the big 5-gallon jug in and then just pour it in. Whatever those things are called, those things are expensive too. So what I found that I've been using that has been saving me a lot of money is actually getting a Brita and just using the tap water and filtering that out. I know a lot of people do that, but you have to sit down and think of how much money you're actually saving without having to go out and buy water bottles. Or when you go to the grocery store, you buy a 24-pack of water bottles. They're not that expensive, but if you keep on having to buy those every single week, then that can get pretty pricey just for water. So what I did was I got a Brita, and then I bought filters to last me for the year. So they actually sell, a kit of filters, or 6 filters or something like that. And they last you throughout the whole year. And I think it was like $30 for that. So $30 for a year's supply of water is pretty good, in my opinion. And it's clean water, it's tap water, but it's filtered out. And I can't tell the difference, honestly. It tastes fine to me. I know some people are really picky about their water, but water is definitely a big expense throughout your days on this earth. So I would definitely recommend looking into something like that to try to save money on water. Now this next one is another necessity that you need, or some people need, and that's gas. Now I know a lot of people are gonna give me some kickback on recommending to buy cheap gas, especially me being, kind of into cars, and I have a lot of friends that are into cars. But I would recommend buying some cheap gas, and not just going to, the big gas stations, like Shell and Chevron and those big gas stations that are really nice and whatnot. I would recommend going to, the hole-in-the-wall gas stations and just finding the place that has the cheapest gas. If they have, basically it's all the same gas, but if you can find a place that has a lot cheaper gas than a place across the street, more or less, because I've seen that. I've gone to gas stations, and then there's a gas station right across the street for 20 cents more for the same exact gas. So try to be mindful of that and just kind of be aware of how much money you're spending on gas. Recently, I've been just getting the cheapest gas that I can find. I don't spend too much time trying to find the cheapest gas station near me, but if I know of a cheap gas station, I kind of just stay there and just buy the cheapest gas, because I kind of run through that anyway. It might not be the best for your car, but if you're trying to penny pinch throughout the year, I would definitely recommend trying to practice, finding cheap gas and putting cheaper gas into your car. Now, another way that I like to save money is usually I go on some type of vacation throughout the year, at least one vacation, and usually I have to get a hotel or a flight, and I don't really like paying my money for those flights. So what I do is I do something called credit card hacking, and I like to do a video about this later on, but basically what that is using the points from your credit card and from your just everyday expenses to build up points on that credit card and using those points to be able to buy hotels or buy flights for a vacation that you want to take. So usually if you're going to take a vacation, which most people do, and you do want like one a year or two a year, try to take advantage of these credit card points and try to use those points to pay for the flight or pay for the hotel. I don't like spending my money on hotels anymore. I don't like spending my money on flights anymore because I figured out this little hack that you can do with credit cards. All you have to do is just spend money on a credit card, be very mindful of that, and be responsible with that, and pay off your credit card. But just try to rack up those points on the credit card so you can pay for these flights and for these hotels with your credit card points. So another way that I've been saving money this year is on paper towels. So paper towels can be really expensive, and I feel like everybody feels like they need paper towels and they want to have paper towels in their house because I mean, I do. I like having them because they're so easy to use. It's easy to clean the countertops with them. It's easy to clean up messes. It's easy to use them as a sandwich plate, pretty much. Bacon, when you cook bacon, you want to get all the grease off. You just put it in a paper towel and take all the grease off. But they're really nice to have, and I didn't really want to cut out paper towels because, you know, they're not that expensive at the end of the day, but I did want to buy cheaper paper towels because you can go to Target or you can go to, you know, your grocery store and see paper towels for, I don't know, $10, $15 for a pack. And you're like, man, that's a lot of money. I'm going through these probably once every 2 weeks or so. So that's $15 every 2 weeks on paper towels. I wanted to try to bring that down and try to cut that out, but I wanted to keep paper towels. So what I found is going to like a dollar store, the 99-cent store, the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, whatever's near you, and checking out their paper towels. Now, they're not the best paper towels that you can get, but they're a lot cheaper. I think like a 6-pack is usually like $2.99, maybe $3.99 for a 6-pack of paper towels. So that's, you know, cutting your price on paper towels as if you were to go buy them from Target, pretty much in half, or maybe a little bit more than half. So using paper towels from some off-the-wall store, you know, not just the big, you know, Targets and Walmarts and stuff like that, not paying top dollar for paper towels. Try to find some paper towels from somewhere else, and if you want to keep them. If you don't want to keep them and you just want to cut that expense all the way, feel free, but I like having paper towels, so I don't really mind, you know, giving up a little bit of the quality of the paper towel to save a lot of money throughout the month or throughout the year. So the last one I want to hit is gym memberships. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that like to go to the gym and they feel that it's very important to have a gym membership, but they can get really, really pricey, especially if we go to 24-hour fitness, and you know, those higher end gyms. Although it is nice to go to a gym, you know, see people there and whatnot, and just work out at a gym, you can save quite a bit of money without, you know, buying a gym membership and just working out at home or working out outside or just doing different types of workouts to actually save money and still get, you know, your health in and still get your workouts in. There's a lot of fun workouts and a lot of good content online that you can find to do home workouts and just body workouts. I did that for a little while. You know, I was spending money on a gym membership as well as my jiu-jitsu gym membership, which is very expensive. And I was buying both of them at the same time. So I was spending quite a bit. I was probably spending like $130 just on gym memberships every single month. So I kind of cut that out. I probably will never buy a gym membership anymore because there's so many other ways to actually get workouts in and, you know, actually have fun with these workouts. Even if you don't want to do that, I would recommend trying to do it for a month and just seeing how you like it. Just do some research on what kind of home workouts you can do or what kind of outdoor workouts or body weight workouts that you can do without having to have equipment from a gym, and just see how you like it. I'm sure you'll actually get a really good workout because your body's not really used to that, and see how much money you actually save throughout the year. You know, if you do that for a year, you're probably saving, you know, quite a bit of money on that gym fee every single month, when you could just go outside and do a workout or go to the park and do pull-ups or just do a home workout at home. Maybe you can even buy a little bit of equipment at home and just use that. But there's a lot of good body weight workouts that you can do to still get a workout but save money each and every month on that gym membership. So those are some of the big cost expenses that I'm saving on throughout this year, and kind of what I started last year to do. I really wanted to save money on these little things, but I didn't really necessarily want to get rid of everything. So those are some ways that you can actually save. I hope that kind of helped you guys. If you know any other ways to save money that could help me, leave them down in the comments. and I'll definitely check those out and see if it works for me. Like I said, you know, some of this stuff might not work for you, but if you just do a little bit of research on figuring out how you can save a little bit of money without having to get rid of the item that you have or the membership that you have, whatever it is, then, you know, do that little bit of research. It only takes, you know, 10 minutes to try to find a different alternative and just a different way to approach it. And this really could save you a lot of money throughout the year. Like I said, I'm saving money every single month, but every single month that I do this, I'm saving a lot throughout the year. So every little penny counts sometimes. And if you can save each and every penny, that will all add up. And you'll realize that you're spending a lot of money for no reason on certain things. So with that said, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. And if you like videos like this, let me know and subscribe. I'm gonna be posting a lot more content about these types of things. So definitely subscribe, give it a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.